let's start the initial conversation that we have stopped yesterday. From where we have stopped. Now, guys, Sneha, can you please unshare your screen for a moment?
Yes.
Guys, when you create an EC2, when you started to create an EC2, so the simple way is that you click here on instance. After that, you click on launch instance. You click on launch instance. And easy way that you have select an image. After that, you selected configure instance detail. When you create configure instance detail, the third step said configure instance detail. This means is what? It said number of instance. So if you want to increase the capacity, do it.
Means, sir,
That
here
too.
we are going to. Sorry, sir. Sorry for interruption. Just tell single question. Here we can create multiple instances. So instances
Yes,
multiple हम create कर सकते हैं इधर से.
yes, absolutely. If you wish to create n number of instances, like 5, 10, rather than one, any number of instances, you will create here. Okay. Right now, if you this is one, so you are only able to create one instance. But if you make it two, so automatically this two instance gets created. But now, what I am talking about, network. So it is very simple. Sorry, why I should have typed it. Try to understand what I am saying. Here is the scenario. You are working for the organization and new client came and he said that my office is, I am having 200 employees. I need, so I need that you will create 200 EC2 instance. Very simple. But the question is, he said, I need my own network. I need my own network. I have 200 employees. I need 200 EC2 instances. I need my own network. I don't want AWS will provide me the network. As of now, this is known as a default network. This is the default network. Now here, try to understand in AWS what does the network means. Network means address, subnet, internet, in simple word, he wants this. He wants personal IP addresses. He wants subnet. He wants VPC. He wants internet. Let's try to create these things. But before creation, try to understand these concepts. See, entire network of AWS is known as a VPC. Why I am saying the entire network of AWS? Because all the network related stuff comes under this VPC. Now, as I said, AWS is a cloud, public cloud. But inside this public cloud, creation of your own network known as a virtual private cloud. It is known as a VPC. What does I mean? I mean, what I mean by this, a public private cloud inside a public cloud, a virtual cloud inside a public cloud. So far, what you have done a very simple and basic thing, that you log into an instance, you have created an instance, and simple you say default, next, 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 and instance gets created. But here, what is the requirement? The client is saying, I need a separate network, but this is a default network. Let's take a look. I mean, just try to understand this in a different manner. That we all goes to, we all know what is restaurant, and we all goes out there. Anyone, I mean, people like us, you, me, we all, I mean, sometimes with the family, without family, with friends, okay, we used to go out to the restaurant. Suppose I'm talking about a very simple manner, a very simple term. There is a restaurant. Now try to understand the concept, what I am saying, please. Okay. So, like, everyone goes to the restaurant. Restaurant is a public property. Restaurant is a public property where we all can go and eat. But in a restaurant, when we are ordering the dishes, when we are ordering the food, that food is our personal property. A restaurant is a public property. So just consider AWS is a public property. But creation of the network inside that is known as a private cloud. Is known as a private cloud. एक रेस्टोरेंट में हम खाना खाने जाते हैं, हम एक रेस्टोरेंट में खाना खाने जाते हैं, खाना एक रेस्टोरेंट में सभी के लिए ओपन है, एवरीवन कैन गो आउट देयर, known as a public. But the dishes we are ordering is private entity. Some people order Chinese, some people order Mongolese, some people order North Indian, some order South Indians. So everyone has a different taste, everyone has a different flavor. But restaurant is common for all. Inside that restaurant, we will have a multiple dishes. That is known as a VPC. To create our own cloud inside a, to create our own network inside a public network is known as a virtual private cloud. Any question on this? Hello guys, any question?
No, sir.
Yeah. Did you understand the point? What I'm saying or what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm getting.
Yeah. Sabya?
Yeah, I'm
Sagar?
clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm clear.
Great. Sagar, Sneha?
Yes, sir.
So far, you are using AWS private public network. So far, you guys are using AWS public network. Let's take a look to a design or just take a look to the diagram. This is AWS VPC that is available for all. But I get a design or I get a work that people are asking me to create our own network inside this VPC. Inside this VPC, a virtual private cloud, you have to create a cloud. You have to create an Amazon and you have to create your own network with your own set of IP addresses. So guys, called VPC, virtual private cloud, a private cloud inside a public cloud. But this has features. What features that makes a VPC more strong? What feature without this a VPC cannot be stable? Subnet, IP addresses, internet gateway. Now, let's talk about subnet and IP address. How many people knows what is IP address? How many people have an idea what is IP address? Like we normally type 10.0.0.1, or else we have typed this address 192.168.192.168.1.1 or whatever. We usually see this kind of address. If I go here on command line, I type ipconfig/home. So this is my address. What is this address? Is all about. Why this address is required to run a computer machine? I'm not talking about VPC. Before VPC, let me make some basic fundamentals clear so that you should be aware about these things. What is this IP address is all about? Why we required IP address?
It is the unique number for an device or a unique address only, you can say, na?
Absolutely. For
Yeah, to identify the system and to communicate over a particular address, you should have identified numbers. That is unique way.
and
Server name.
server name. No, name is a different thing.
Like server IP address.
Server IP address, you should say, correct. Server's IP address. Guys,
If you want to do any OTP so that so we
let's take a
can
let's take a very basic example. What is cell number? Cell phone number, like we all have. We all are using. Suppose I have two people. Both name is Deepti. Deepti and Deepti. How do I differentiate between them? Even their surname are same. Let's suppose Deepti Pandey, Deepti Kumar, Deepti Kumari, whatever. So their surnames is also same. Their cell phone number cannot be same. Identification number. Or in an easy manner, when we go to the school and we are divided into the section A, section B, we all have faced this situation. We all have seen this. Section A, section B, section C. In the same section, in section A, I have a girl called Deepti. In the same section, I have a girl called Deepti. Same name for two different girls. How could you identify both of her? How could you differentiate both of her? With their roll
By
number.
roll number.
By roll number. The IP address is known as a internet protocols. Protocols means set of rules and regulation. So IP address is known as an internet protocol. Those protocols need to use to identify devices per internet, a way of communication between devices. Suppose I need to talk to you. So what should I do? I'll simply call you. I'll put up my call and then I'll give a call to you. So the same thing is having here over the internet world, that if something required to connect to someone, this required an address, and that address is known as an IP address. That address is named as an IP address, a way of communication of devices, internet, over network. This is the address through which we can communicate with our compute resources. These IP addresses are of 5 types. Class A, but before that, what is IP addresses in technical terms? So IP addresses are 32-bit octet number. What is this octet? So guys, in computer technology, if someone is from the IT background, they knows about number system. That is 01010101. So we have 5 types of number system that is known as a octet, decimal, hexadecimal, binary. So this 01 is known as binary. So the 32-bit octet means if you represent IP address like in this manner, 192.168, I'm writing an address now, 1 and 1. So these are known as a 4-bit, and each bit has 8 octet. Each bit has 8 octet. Don't put your mind too much on this. It is just to make you understand what is IP address, so that you should be aware that how IP addresses can calculate. Don't put your mind too much into this one. It's a mathematical calculation. Okay. So just try to understand what I'm saying. Apart from that, it is nothing related to the anything. But since you are working, you want to become an architect, so you should have a knowledge about this one. So each bit has 8 octet, like this only. So if 192 has 8 octet, then 168 also has 8 octet. This one has 8 octet and this one has 8 octet. That became 32. But now just it is this only for this one, just to make you a small understanding about this thing, number system. Now let's talk about class A, B, C, and D. So class A, B, and C and D means as same like the section in school. A is for science side, B is for commerce, C is for arts one. Okay. So this classes will define the network size. IP class will define the network size. What is network size? How many computers can place inside a network? Remember my question, remember my today's topic, that company came and said, I need 200 EC2 instances for 200 users. So this make a sense that, okay, in which class, in which IP range we should put him in. So these IP classes will tell us the same thing. Class A, class B, class C, and class D. Each class has network and host ID. So network ID we cannot use, host ID we use. So each class, the bigger host ID we have, the bigger network we will create. So guys, class A has, remember, 3 hosts, 1 network IDs. Class B has 2 hosts, 2 network. Class C has 3 network, 1 host. Now what does this mean by host and all? Let's try to understand this, what I'm talking about right now. But again, I'm saying don't put your mind too much into this. Just try to understand how IP address came. Guys, we have 2 types of IP address, physical and logical. Physical address is known as your MAC address, means your laptop and desktop address. Logical address, IP addresses, IP version 4, IP version 6. Here in this AWS scenario, these are the 2 things that is most desirable thing for you, public address and private address. What is that? I'll let you know. Now IP and internet protocol. So as I said, IP network will help you to travel across the network. IP addresses are 32-bit logical addresses that has 4 octets. 0 to 255 for minimum value. It makes each and the IP address is the combination of network ID and host ID. So these bits I was talking about, if you see these 4 blocks. So these 3 in IP address in class A, these 3 will represent host ID. That means we can use 4, 8, 12, 24 bit. We can use 24 bit. Class B 22 and class C This is for network and this is for host. So class A is the smallest network we have. Sorry, class C is the smallest network we have. Okay. Now, what does I mean by this class A, B, and C? So guys, when you start writing the IP address, when you developing the IP address, so the class A range starts from 0 to 126. Class B starts from 128 to 191. Class C starts from 192 to 223. Just focus here. What is this 0 to 126? If any address came like 10.0, 10.0.0.1, or if you see any IP address that is 11.11. or whatever, I mean, you have only see the first range. If first number is lies between 0 to 126, that means it has a class A network. If anything lies between 128 to 191, suppose if any address you look something like this 190.0, so this is class B. If you see any address that starts from 192, it's a class C network. Any question? Hello guys, any question?
No.
Guys,
No.
anything, any question? Just try to understand this. I mean, don't try to go into the deep. Just try to understand this. Then I'll let you know what is this. So you have to only check. If you have any question here, please ask me. Sneha, Rahul, Sagar, Vijay, Pawan, Raju Bhai, Deepti, any question?
No
So,
comment.
yeah, Sabyasachi here. So
Go ahead.
these are you can create through VPC, means AWS allows us to create all the thing, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. These are customizable range.
These are the customizable. Yeah, these are the customizable.
Yeah, through VPC, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Now tell me where is 127? If you guys are, if you don't have any question, so tell me where is 127? You guys are focusing very well. Thank you. But tell me 0 to 126, then it starts from 128. Where is 127? You are focusing, then you have to ask me that it ends on 126 and it starts from 128. Where is 127? This was your question, but soon you all are getting it.
But is it mandatory to continue the numeric values to continue?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
This defines the classes. This defines the network size. I'm giving the session is ending in 1 minute. I'll give you new link. Till the time, think where is 127 gone. Then let me know. I'm sharing new link in a minute.